and the projections for the number of coronavirus deaths has dropped from over 100,000, maybe down to around 60,000.
Well, what's changed is the models were originally based on our best guesses. And we looked at the Italy data, we looked at the China data, and that's the best we had to put into our models.
Now, Dr. Jerome Adams says new data from the U.S. and the strict guidelines have helped drive these numbers down, though yesterday's death tally was the most yet, up to nearly 15,000 overall out of 432,000 U.S. coronavirus infections around the world, about 1.5 million. Now, later this hour, we'll find out how many more Americans have lost jobs. Estimates range from 2 to maybe 9 million.
The last 2 weeks, we have now seen nearly 10 million Americans file initial jobless claims. 9.955 million people have filed for unemployment claims. Not a surprise.
That's Fox Business Network Cheryl Castoni. There's a move today in Washington to add to the $2+ trillion package to help Americans hit hard by the corona shutdowns. More money for businesses. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has details live.
Dave, more help may be on the way for small businesses as the Senate prepares to take a voice vote today on an additional $250 billion. Although the Paycheck Protection Program had a bumpy rollout, Vice President Mike Pence told reporters small businesses are getting loans.
So far, we're working with more than 3,600 lenders across the country, and we've dispersed more than $98 billion.
President Trump is urging Democrats and Republicans to work together, though Democrats have said they want more money included for medical facilities and state and local governments. Dave.
America's listening to Fox News.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
The two Navy ships deployed to New York and Los Angeles arrived with much hoopla to help hospitals deal with non-coronavirus patients. Well, that changed in New York. The Comfort is now treating those with COVID-19. As of yesterday, the Mercy in L.A. only had 11 patients on board.
The USNS Mercy that docked in Los Angeles was supposed to be taking in patients that did not have the virus. But California Governor Gavin Newsom says they may ask to shift the Mercy's mission.
One of the areas of discussion, this is not concrete, but it is one of the areas of discussion, is how we can help support our skilled nursing facilities and their patients at this time.
There are multiple reports of the virus infecting people inside different nursing homes. Earlier this week, 84 patients at a home in Riverside had to be evacuated because employees refused to show up to work. 34 residents there tested positive for the virus, and all of those evacuated were taken to alternate facilities. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Now, there is also on each ship now a sailor infected with the coronavirus. One of the key figures in that long, drawn-out impeachment drama involving President Clinton has died.
Linda Tripp's secret recordings of then White House intern Monica Lewinsky set off a series of events leading to the impeachment of President Bill Clinton in 1998. Tripp at the time worked in the Pentagon's Public Affairs Office. She turned over tapes of Lewinsky to independent counsel Ken Starr, exposing a sexual relationship between the president and Lewinsky. Clinton's denial of the affair under oath was the basis of a perjury charge in one of 2 articles of impeachment. Tripp was 70 years old. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Ahead of the news on unemployment due out later this hour on Wall Street, Dow futures are down more than 100 points after yesterday's nearly 800-point Dow gain. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. I'm Jamie Monticelli with your ESPN 93.5 local news update. We are up to 70 cases of COVID-19 in Champaign County. That's according to the Champaign-Urbana Public Health District. The Illinois Department of Public Health said for the second time in 2 days, Illinois set a single-day high for COVID-19 deaths with 82 on Wednesday. The death toll statewide hit 482. The IDPH director said although the numbers are increasing, they are increasing at a lower rate. In order to repair pavement failures, A&A Concrete will be closing one northbound lane of Prospect Avenue between Green Street and Healy Street. Repair work will begin on Monday, April 13th, and it'll reopen by Friday the 17th, weather permitting. In order to facilitate construction at 210 East University Avenue, A&R Services will close one westbound lane of University Avenue between 2nd Street and 3rd Street. That'll happen tomorrow between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Westbound traffic will be cut to one lane in the area. You're up to date. I'm Jamie Monticelli.
Hey, good morning. ESPN 93.5 3-day weather brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. Wishing all of us health and wellness as we navigate this together. Remember social distancing. Together we can flatten the curve. Watts Copy Systems. Good morning, Diane Ducey.
Morning, Stevie. We're expecting some showers and late in the day, but starting out with nice sunshine. Today's high only 51 and down to 31 this evening. We also have windy conditions with a wind advisory going on until 10.
Good morning.
Sorry.
Actually, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and winds from the northwest up to 30 miles per hour. Sunshine expected tomorrow with a high 53, low 36. Clouds on Saturday's forecast, high near 60. We're inside 60 on Sunday with scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Yeah.
Right now, the temperature's at 41. ESPN 93.5.
Yep, Easter week, beginning of Passover for our Jewish friends last night. We have Good Friday tomorrow for Christian followers with the crucifixion of Jesus, and then the resurrection from death on Sunday for Easter Sunday, the most important day on the Christian calendar. So as we continue social distancing and keep from each other, we can always pray and always observe in our own homes Easter Sunday, which I know many of us will. Okay, well, good morning. And again, as you heard Jamie Monticelli say, 70 cases in Champaign County. 5 are hospitalized. There's been one death, a gentleman in his 80s who had some underlying conditions. When we talk about, and we have in many, many times, we talk about COVID-19 cases, how we're doing, charting. It seems to be slowing, and in some cases seems to be kind of the top of the bell curve, perhaps on the downside. We're continuing to get data every day. Infectious disease specialist, also retired colonel in the U.S. Army, Colonel Michael Lewis. How are you?
I'm doing super. How are you guys doing?
We're doing all right. Thank you so much, and thank you for serving your country.
My pleasure.
All right, so what's your take? Colonel, what do you think? Where are we?
Well, you know, viruses, they're part of life. It's part of nature. And, you know, sometimes one makes this leap and kind of gets out of the bag, and we got to react to it. And in some ways, we got caught a little unaware, and in other ways, we've been really on top of it and doing a great job. I think that we're starting to see a little bit of I think we're seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. I think we're kind of getting pretty close to reaching that peak, and I think that we've got to start thinking about how we get the country back to, and the world really, economy back to work again.
Isn't it one of those, the hurricane is coming to wipe out my city, and everybody reacts, and then it doesn't wipe out our city? We should be happy. I mean, the fact that these numbers have gone from effectively possibly 2.2 million deaths from this to 100 to 240,000 deaths from this, and now it's 60,000. That's fantastic. But then you're going, well, you know, gosh, 88,000 died from alcohol abuse in 2018. So putting it in perspective, I guess I totally am rather to have the 60 than all these incredible. We didn't really model this right, or did we just do social distancing better than we thought?
I think it's probably a bit of both. You know, one of the biggest problems with a new virus like this is the unknown, both the fear of the unknown but also not knowing necessarily how it's going to play out. And you're right, it's a kind of a no-win situation. If we didn't react the way we did and it caused 2 million deaths, then everybody'd be complaining about that. And now you'd rather have people complaining that, the projections were off. And, that's the odd thing about prevention, of course, is when it works, nothing happens, which is exactly what we want. And so it's a little bit of a no-win situation. But the other thing is viruses change over time. It's just how nature works. Is if viruses kill too many people, viruses need people or they need hosts, whether mammals or people. And if it kills too many of their hosts, then the virus isn't going to survive. So it adapts over time to become less virulent. And so I think that part of what we're seeing is it may not be as deadly as we thought it was, but that's part of how nature works and how viruses change over time.
The problem is we didn't know anything about it. The problem is it started at a wet market, which is now open again in Wuhan, China. Why can't this just come back in October?
Well, what we learned with SARS in 2003 was we thought it was going to come back, and it actually did come back, but it was not anything like it was obviously in 2003. So all these predictions that it's going to come back and it's going to be worse next year, it's complete speculation. We don't know. It could be worse. It could be non-existent. At this point, we don't really know. But what we do know is viruses, we need to learn we have coexisted with them. We will need to always learn how to coexist with them. And we've got to adapt just like viruses adapt. And you're right, the biggest fear, the biggest concern is we don't know what we don't know about this.
Yeah. And again, when we don't have some sort of a solution, we're Americans. We go to Google, we find solutions within 5 minutes, and so we don't have it. They say, well, we have a vaccine for the flu. Well, I guess we have a shot you can take for the flu, but 60,000 could still die from the flu every year. So, it's one of those, I guess, peace of mind things, Colonel. Listen, I want everybody to stay safe. I think social distancing is great. I kind of think the flu seasons could be better if we quit hugging everybody. Next year, maybe our new habits will stay in place, huh?
Well, that's one of the things that we hope is that we learn some lessons from this, in all kinds of different directions. And, should we be paying a little more attention to nursing home populations? And should we, is social distancing from the concept of video, working from home, is it going to change how we work? There's some jobs, of course, you can't make widgets from home. You kind of need that factory assembly line. So, but there are other things that can be done that maybe it's going to change how we even work and how we interact. Hopefully we'll come out of this, I think, stronger and better for it. I think, like you said, we're Americans, and we usually figure things out, and we usually come out better in the end.
Hear, hear. Colonel, pleasure. You have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for your time and your information, and we're going to hope and pray we get over this thing, and it's going to be way better, and it looks like it's possible that could happen, and we've got to get people back to work.
Well, I agree. I'm a little bit concerned about the emotional and financial stress that we're putting on everybody, and I hope that we do come through stronger.
Me too. Colonel, thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
Colonel Michael Lewis, infectious disease specialist, retired colonel of the U.S. Army, ESPN 93.5. So, yeah, the deaths downgraded to 60,000 now by August. We're at 15,000 or thereabouts this morning. We're talking as a country. Champaign County up to 70 cases. 27 have recovered. 1 has died, man in his 80s who had underlying health conditions, and only 5 hospitalized as of this morning.
Okay.
So I'd say all in all for an international community, which is what we are, what's just wonderful.
I agree.
Then at some point, not today, at some point people are going to say, was it worth all the job losses? Was it worth all this duress? Was it worth all of this stress and figuring out all this? And I think you've got to lean a little bit on that. Now, to what extent will we continue? The state of Illinois is locked down pretty much till April 30. At what point will you say, enough, we got to get back to work? And hopefully we're approaching that. Hopefully it will be all clear by that time. I think Chicago has more issues than we do in downstate. But you certainly can't relax, and you certainly can't take it for granted. And I think you have to baby step back. I think you should probably always take this social distancing for a while longer. What's it going to hurt? I mean, we're not spreading the germs like we normally do, but we need to get back to basketball and football and baseball, and we need to sit by people at a baseball game.
I think it'll be so unusual when you meet someone or try to seal the deal to eliminate the handshake.
Yeah. Just imagine the aliens looking in going, why are they so socially awkward? All of them. We want to thank people jumping on our Facebook Live.
Yes.
Dorothy Ruth is up morning. She's ready to work again from her living room.
Okay.
Phil's in California. Debbie's in St. Louis. David and Sue and Betsy and Kim. Good morning to you. Thank you for watching on our Facebook Live. Stevie Jay and StevieJay.com. You can click on ESPN Listen Live. You can stream us. All different kinds of habits as the car traffic is down, and so many of you are working from home these days. So we will feature Industrial Donut this morning.
Yay, Becca's awesome.
Did you see the 2 donuts sitting there on the counter?
I cut off a quarter of one.
I want to tell you, I had my first donut in a decade. It was awesome.
They're cake donuts at Industrial Donuts, and then they put the icing on top, and then you can dip them in various toppings.
I don't think those are cake donuts, though, are they?
I think so.
I got to ask Becca the definition of a cake donut. But we did enjoy a few donuts at my house, and we don't eat much of that, but it was delicious.
Yes, that's right.
So we're going to, in today's supporting a local restaurant segment of our program, we're going to actually take these donuts. I think there's 17 dozen, and we're going to spread them around the Developmental Services Center.
Yes, Sarah Perry and Danielle Matthews, the CEO, and the Executive VP, Patty Walters, are so excited to touch some of these people with disabilities, especially those in group homes that have been really suffering during this COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, they're going to have about 30 seconds of joy, because that's all it took me to eat my full donut. Thank you to Jeff Facer, Area-Wide Technologies, Troy Lands Heating and Cooling and Plumbing, Steve Hillard at HL Precision, Aaron and Nikki Johnson for their contributions, as well as Tony Johnson and others. Thank you so much. Every morning we're supporting a local restaurant like the Ribeye, Jets Pizza, Manzello's, Po' Boys, Big Grove Tavern, Hickory River Smokehouse, El Toro, Papa Del's, Scotty's Brewhouse, Taco John's, Watson's Shack and Rail, Baldorada's in Lincoln Square. I think they're closed for the time being, however. Red Lobster, Applebee's, Garcia's Pizza in a Pan, Willow Pond Golf Club, wonderful wings.
I saw Farron's, the gal the red hair was back and forth from the restaurant to the cars yesterday when I was driving through.
Curbside, huh?
Yes.
Farron's Pub and Eatery, we did that yesterday. Rosati's Pizza, Bunny's Tavern, the original Pancake House. We are supporting best we can at $250 a day. Today it's Industrial Donut. We'll meet Becca in a moment. All right, ESPN 93.5. John Decker will be live from Washington, D.C., normally at the White House, but he is at his home office. And he'll be up here in about 10 minutes. We'll call John Decker at the White House.
Of course, we love to get your input, too, at 359-2255.
John Decker near the White House.
Okay.
Let us check our ESPN 93.5 three-day weather from the National Weather Service.
We've got some showers in the forecast late in the day, starting out with sunshine, a wind advisory from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Today's high 51, 31, our low tonight. Sunny tomorrow with a high 53, down to 36. Clouds on Saturday's forecast, high near 60, down to 47. 61 on Sunday for Easter with scattered showers in the forecast. We're currently at 41 on ESPN 93.5.
All right, Fox Business Minute brought to you by Starla Card, Provident Financial Group in Champaign, where partnerships are built on trust. Find Starla at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com. A few comments to get to here, we will. Thad has jumped on, so has Bill. Good morning to you, Bill. Thanks for watching on Facebook Live. 359-2255. You want to chime in via text, area 217-359-2255. I am Stevie J and Diane Ducey at 720.
I'm Deirdre Bolton, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Another reading on the job market is released this morning, and economists expect it will continue to show dramatic job losses. Economists are predicting there were another 5 million new claims for unemployment benefits in the week ending April 4th. That would put the total number of new claims in recent weeks at 15 million. Pfizer says it's found a promising coronavirus treatment. It's in the early stages of development. Pfizer plans to begin testing it this summer. It's also working with a German partner to develop a vaccine using technology based on genes. Constellation Brands, parent company of Corona Beer, says it's reducing brewery production in Mexico. The Mexican government classified the business as non-essential. However, the company says it has about 70 days stockpile of inventory. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
With coronavirus spreading, people at higher risk must take extra precautions. You are at higher risk if you're over 65 or if you have an underlying medical condition like heart disease, chronic lung disease, diabetes, or if your immune system is compromised for any reason. If you're at higher risk, stay 6 feet or 2 arm lengths away from others. Better yet, stay home if you can. The choices you make are critical. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information. As the nation's doctor, I often get asked, what should I do if I think I might have coronavirus?
People who are sick should stay home. You don't go to an emergency room. You don't go to a clinic. You get on the phone and you ask for advice and instructions from your physician.
We don't want you to go into the ER or the doctor's office without talking to them first because you might spread coronavirus to someone else. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information.
From the health of every American to the health of your portfolio, Fox Business brings you complete coronavirus coverage. As markets continue to react with extreme volatility, Fox Business shows you how to navigate the turmoil with instant analysis to help you make your next move. Plus, breaking reports from Washington to Main Street, keeping you on top of every development as it happens. Turn to Fox Business for the continuing coronavirus coverage every investor needs.
ESPN 93.5. Thank you for watching and listening. Some comments. Betsy says, anything is worth saving lives in my eyes. All right. Yesterday we had Steve Moore on, U of I grad, economics guy. He said every point in the unemployment is 10,000 deaths.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the president said the cure can't be worse than the problem. So if you take into account all the factors of a bad economy, you know, there's one projection out there. If this doesn't end, if we don't beat this thing in the next month or so, the unemployment could be 24%. Well, that's 240 deaths, right? 240,000 deaths right there. So it's assuming that unemployment doesn't cause death, and it does. By suicide, by depression, by alcohol abuse, by drug addiction, by domestics, all kinds of problems. So I guess you have to consider that there is a consequence to shutting down an economy. We've never done it like this. Ken, very good comment here. The risk profile indicates that folks over 60 and those with diabetes and asthma should continue to be separate. Everyone else could get back to normal, understanding that there will be about a 3 times more likelihood of getting COVID-19 than the flu. Government should underwrite 2 weeks of COVID-19 specific time off to recuperate. All right, good comment. 359-2255 or Facebook Live. The owner of Industrial Donut in Savoy is Becca Powers. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I had one of the donuts after you brought them in yesterday, and I don't generally eat donuts. Holy moly. Oh, my. Wow. That was an experience.
That's what we shoot for.
You said those were you serious? Those are fat-free?
No, I'm joking. They have a hole in them, so we say they're whole foods.
Okay. Well, I went ahead and ate a donut in half then. So anyway, no, it was you have a spectacular product.
Are they all cake donuts, Becca?
Yes, they sure are.
So those are
that's what we
cake
make, is
donuts.
just,
Okay, because Janet was
Yep,
looking
they're
at them
all
last
vanilla
night.
cake.
Okay, vanilla cake donuts. So I
Yep,
took.
sometimes we shoot out some different ones, but most of the time just the vanilla.
Okay, so I kept a little here for people.
Yeah, but what on the variety of toppings and icing, how many choices do we have?
So there's 8 different icing choices every week and 16 toppings plus. Sometimes we throw in some secret topping menu items, and we have drizzles, and there's hundreds of combinations.
This might be a big hit for Easter Sunday if people want to make arrangements ahead of time.
Yes, we actually have Easter boxes we do that for every holiday, and Easter we have an Easter themed box with little nest with eggs in them and
you
bunnies.
gave me 2 of those yesterday, and the eggs are actually chocolate eggs, sneaky. I thought they were real. Anyway, Becca, it's a wonderful, wonderful product. How can people get Industrial Donut from you? How do they do that?
Thank you. Well, right now we're kind of in the same boat as everyone else. Customers cannot eat in. You can do carry out, curbside pickup by calling ahead, and delivery through Grubhub with us right now. So we'll see what happens day by day. Everything seems to change, but that's what we've been going with for about a month now.
Okay, well, we have 17 dozen we got from you this morning that we're giving to the Developmental Services Center, and they're going to, I guess, deliver those to all kinds of people, the workers, residents, and I just have a feeling there's going to be, because I'm gauging it on my experience, it took me about 30 seconds. I should have gone slower, but it took me about 30 seconds to eat that thing. And so we'll give out all these 30-second bursts of joy because of you.
Well, no, because of you, but we really appreciate that. You're definitely supporting us and the community, so super.
Okay, let's come by and get a donut from. And do you do like coffee and stuff?
We do, yep. We have coffee, drip coffees, specialty coffees, chais, all the good stuff.
So a good hot cup of coffee with that, I got to watch
and
it.
It's from Columbia Street, too.
I can't do it every day, but I sure can do it. So
that's right.
We can just everything in moderation. But you have a fabulous donut there. It is wonderful. It's creative and it's delicious.
Now, speaking of Easter, Becca, I see Donut missed the Easter Bunny at 11 o'clock on Saturday, the 11th. So has that been adapted to waving, or you
we had to cancel the Easter Bunny this year, because mostly our Saturdays are just full of families and fun, and usually kids are coming in, and we just couldn't take a chance this year with everything.
Could have had the bunny in a hazmat with ears. That would have been safe. Anyway.
Hey, we'll look into that if we can find the suit.
Hazmat with ears, would everybody get it? Exactly. Oh, that's safe. Hug the hazmat suit.
Just waving.
The hazmat bunny.
Yeah, see? That with my elbow lock is another $1 billion idea. Okay.
There you go.
I had an elbow lock idea where you would actually lock your elbows. You'd never touch your face. Boom, billion right there. Bam. Driving, well, eating, you'd have to be able to toss it and catch it because you couldn't reach your mouth. So that was an issue. Anyway, Becca.
That is an issue.
Again, where can I find you? Right next to the Aldi in Savoy, correct?
Yep, right next to Aldi's in Savoy.
Okay.
We're open 7 to 1 Monday through Saturday, but we're closed this coming Monday to celebrate Easter.
All right, wonderful. Becca Powers, keep it up. Got a wonderful place there. I hope people come out and buy a donut or 12.
Thanks so much, CBJ. Thanks, Diane. You guys have a good one.
You too. Happy Easter to you. Thanks so much.
And Industrial Donut can be found on Facebook. There's an industrialdonut.com website, but stop on by. They are at 501 Commerce Drive in case you're entering into the GPS, or 607-1323.
Okay, you can watch us on Facebook Live if you like fish in an aquarium. We're toying with the other camera, I thought. I mean, there might be an angle to get Diane here on screen.
It's no big deal to rush
I know,
that.
you just never really care, but everybody like to see you too.
I was on camera yesterday, though. Channel 3 asked for a quote from the Tonono Fun Day Committee on bumping our festival to October 2nd and 3rd.
I kind of had a second thought on that.
You did?
I think we could have rallied in June and gotten the money.
I feel like that's a good idea.
I just think canceling July from here was premature.
Right.
Again, I just espouse my opinion. You don't have to agree, and a lot of people don't a lot of the times, and some people do a lot of the time. So it's just what I think. I think canceling to July from where we are today, and there's hope, with this whole thing that there's a chance that we start cranking up again in May, and that would be extraordinarily great news for people in business and the folks that are working private business. I think if you're in a government job, chances are there'll be some furloughs in government, I'm sure, but not near as many as private. It's anecdotal, but that's what I'm hearing. So
Right.
there's more urgency on the private side to say, we got to get it back, but we got to stay safe. We get it.
Right.
And then the numbers are being downgraded, which is wonderful news. It's a blessing. It's the answer to prayers. But it still makes you go, darn, was this all worth it? You know, we're not out of this yet. But so far, it's trending good. I think there is hope.
Yes.
And I'm excited, and I think Donald Trump has made sure there's been information and a little bit of a dose of hope every day, and I think we need that. 359-2255 if you want to chime in. We're going to Washington, D.C. Ace reporter John Decker next.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. A large relief package for small businesses in the works today.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell slated to bring this $251 billion package of emergency relief spending for small businesses over to the Senate floor this morning at about 10 a.m. He's already, though, anticipating major pushback from his Democrat colleagues. They want to include additional funds for hospitals and carve out about just under half of that money for minority-owned, women-owned, and veteran-owned small businesses.
Fox's Jillian Turner. And initial jobless claims just in show 6.6 million Americans filed for first-time jobless help last week. Analysts were expecting to see 5.25 million filing. That is on top of the 10 million claims from the past 2 weeks and brings the total for the past 3 weeks to a staggering 16 million. America's listening to Fox News.
Good morning. I'm Jamie Monticelli with your ESPN 93.5 local news update. The Champaign County Freedom Celebration will be canceled for this year. That includes the parade, the 5K race, and the fireworks. That's to ensure that they keep the university and visitors safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. The decision was prompted by the University of Illinois' decision to cancel all summer events until further notice. Piatt County Sheriff David Hunt has tested positive for COVID-19. The sheriff's office said on Facebook that Hunt started experiencing symptoms on March 27th and immediately went into self-quarantine. He was not tested until his symptoms worsened and he was taken to a hospital. The Post said he was released from the hospital later that same day and continues to be in isolation and in quarantine at his home. The DeWitt-Piatt County Health Department remains in contact and monitors his health every day. He and his family are following the appropriate measures as provided by the Health Department and the CDC. You're up to date. I'm Jamie Monticelli.
With Prospect Bank's online banking and bill pay, you can take care of your day-to-day banking needs from the comfort of your own home. Check account balances, transfer money, and pay your bills with our easy-to-use digital platforms. Online banking can be accessed through our website, bankprospect.com, or through our mobile banking app. We're behind you with the opportunities you need to stay safe and secure. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Prospect Bank, the Opportunity Bank.
Hey, at Honda BMW, they're offering 25% discount on repair through the end of April in an effort to keep their staff employed. They'll even come pick up your vehicle, perform all the repairs, and fully sanitize it. They'll use seat covers, floor mats, and gloves to help protect everybody's health and safety while they service your vehicle. You can visit Honda BMW off Neal at Burwash in Savoy. They're open. Call 356-0303 to check availability for their delivery service. That's 356-0303.
Why? That's a question I have for you listeners out there. Why are you putting up with a bad lawn? Your lawn can be an integral part of your property. Be proud of having the greenest lawn in your neighborhood. Be proud of the lack of weeds in your yard. Let Spring Green put in the work so you can be prideful of your lawn. Spring Green Lawn Care offers the best value and plan specifically designed for the condition of your turf by their local professionals. Try the Central Illinois leaders in lawn care. Go to Spring Green's website today, spring-green.com, or give them a call at 359-2111.
Well, Chemical Maintenance Incorporated knows that cleanliness is on everybody's mind. They've got something that can help, a disinfectant with solutions that are effective against coronavirus. One shot 256 Century Q disinfectant, hospital grade, can help protect you, your coworkers, students, employees, friends, or family against COVID-19 when used according to directions. CMI, they're closed, but they're open. If you call ahead, the door's locked, but they'll greet you. You can charge it, and they can throw it at you or something from 6 feet. CMI, check them out. CMIclean.com. CMIClean.com. All right, here is your weather forecast from the National Weather Service.
Looking good this morning with the sunshine. Breezy today with a wind advisory starting at 10 a.m. going through 7 p.m. Winds as high as 30 miles per hour. Boy, we had something going through the area between 6 and 7 last night. Gusts registered up to 60 mile an hour at Willard Airport. We've got showers in the forecast late in the day and into the evening. Sunshine tomorrow with a high 53, low 36, up towards 60 on Saturday with the clouds. Scattered showers and thunderstorms on Sunday, high 61. 41 now on ESPN 93.5.
25 till, John Decker live from Washington, D.C., near the White House at his home office. John Decker, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing excellent, Stevie. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. John is at the press briefing room with the president every, whatever it is, 13th day because of a rotation or something?
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. It's every 12th day. Got a good memory. Every 12th day. I was there this past week, I believe on Monday. I was filling in for somebody, and I'll be there tomorrow. And I guess you're watching them, and as well as everybody else. We want to get some positive news, to figure out when we're getting back to normal. We got some bad news, by the way, within the past 5 minutes. You may have already seen this, Stevie, about the new number as far as Americans filing for unemployment claims. 6.6 additional Americans last week filed for unemployment, and that means that over the past 3 weeks, 17.6 million Americans have filed for unemployment claims with their states. It's just an unbelievable number when you think about it.
Well, and then the other problem with that, John, is they can't reach anybody because we're not built for that. We're not built for that surge, so nobody can reach anybody, and nobody's getting any money at this point.
Well, you're absolutely right, and some states have asked for help from their National Guard to help process these claims because, as you mentioned, we're not built for that. Those unemployment offices, even those websites, are not built for this surge in the number of Americans filing for unemployment claims. And so that is one function that the National Guard can serve in a number of states that need that help for people that are filing those claims.
I know that the projections was 3 to 9 million, so it comes in at over 6, and the futures have now turned up. So I guess the market liked it. We're all kind of trying to get back to everything. Normalcy probably will take time, but I mean, there are some things there, John Decker, Fox News Ace Radio White House reporter, that does encourage. I mean, it's not going to be as bad. The downgrade on the deaths, although 60,000's a lot, it's not near what we thought.
Well, that's right. So a few weekends ago, we heard a number or an estimate coming from the medical advisors to the president, 100,000 to 240,000 fatalities associated with the coronavirus. Now new modeling has lowered that estimate. You just mentioned 60,000. Let's hope it's even lower than that. And I've been paying attention to what's happening in Illinois. Over 15,000 cases, 462 fatalities from the coronavirus. And, we need to bring that number of new cases down. We need to flatten that number out. And then once we do that all across the country, then we can get back to our normal lives. It's going to be gradual. It's not just a matter, Stevie, of flipping the switch and, getting back to work. Everybody's back to doing what they were doing prior to the shutdown all across America. But having said that, I think that we're looking at the president being right. Maybe we are looking at June the 1st in that gradual return of things getting back to normal, including sports, which I miss greatly.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I'm sure so many in your audience miss that as well. I mean, we'd be talking right now maybe even about, the Final Four, and we'd be talking about the Masters.
Yeah, right.
And unfortunately, none of those things are happening right now.
Well, I'm encouraged that we can get it going. I had Steve Moore, economist, on yesterday. He's a University of Illinois graduate, and he was saying that every 1 point of unemployment equals 10,000 deaths. And he said if we don't get back to work, this is going to get worse in a hurry. And he said you got to consider that. And the president has said in those briefings, you can't have the cure be worse than the problem. John, it's never a dull moment right now. We don't know, things break. I get Fox News alerts on my phone. It seems like every hour. How do you keep up with it?
Well, the same way you do, the same way a lot of your audience does, but also you have to keep in mind. I also get some alerts coming from people that work in the West Wing. So that's always helpful as well, and I'm apprised about phone calls the president is making on a regular basis, the meetings that he's having, and those meetings are important. You know, he's meeting with at least virtually meeting, you know, their video links, but he's meeting with those CEOs from the nation's banks who are processing the loans from the Paycheck Protection Program, which is so important. He's meeting with those individuals who are responsible for the supply chain, making certain that the necessary medical supplies get to the places that they need to go to. The president, you know, look, I've said this before, 99.9% of his job these days is focused on the health of all Americans and the health of the U.S. economy. And it's hard to believe that we're talking about this instead of talking about the fact that we now have a presumptive Democratic nominee, and Joe Biden.
Right.
It's going to be a Biden-Trump race. You know, now we know that for certain. And that's going to be interesting. And, you know, we'll see where we are in this whole coronavirus situation as to whether this is the dominant issue of the 2020 presidential election.
Well, I appreciate always you being on with us Thursdays. And by the way, you being in there every 12 days is to me like third grade Park District basketball where you had to play everybody. Everybody gets it. It's like you ought to be in there. Your 3 questions the other day were fantastic. The first one, President spent 10 minutes on, and he said, you understand, because you're a lawyer, the only guy in there that's a lawyer. And so to only have you every 12 days and rotate like you're all equal is like LeBron James playing 8 minutes a game. It's not right.
That's so nice of you. Well, look, I'll be in there tomorrow. I'll ask the questions that I know that if you were in there, Stevie, you'd want answered. If anybody in your audience was in that briefing room and they occupied one of those 14 seats, they'd want answered. And so that's the important thing. We want to get answers. We want to get back to work. We want our normal lives back. And the best way to do that is ask the president and ask, you know, members of his task force like Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. Hope you can watch. And in addition to that, you know, stay safe.
Yeah,
follow those guidelines.
Yeah.
That's the important thing to get back to work.
It's like the old hurricane's going to wipe out your town, and it doesn't. That ought to bring joy, not sadness or anger. This is good that we're not going to die as much as we thought. I'm happy about that. You just got to now weigh everything and how you get it back and cranked up for all, particularly private business that really has to get things cranking again. John, keep up your fine reporting. We'll be watching you tomorrow.
Excellent. Thanks, Stevie.
All right, thanks. You bet. John Decker live at the, near the White House. He's at his home office. He lives in Washington, D.C., and he's our Thursday regular here on the radio, and I appreciate his time, 7:43, but he gets, he is the only lawyer on press row. So he's a reporter/lawyer. And so, and the president, and was it Alan Sachs on Monday, said, the president knows everything about every reporter in that room. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he'll say, who are you with? Because there are hundreds of reporters, and only 14 are allowed in at once. I mean, they're literally on top of each other normally, back in the day when it was normal and you didn't have social distancing. And they're really on top of each other. And it's very crowded and very hard to get a question in. So he'll go to, the reporters 3 times if there are 14 people, and he just keeps answering questions every day. And every day, generally around 4 Central Time is when they run those. Okay, thank you for watching on our Facebook live stream. Many of you are doing that. We see you out there, Mark and David and Susan. Thank you. You can watch on Facebook Live if you find that interesting. Me and my... I guess black coat. I have gloves on today. I've been doing more yard work.
Okay.
So my hands are more of an issue when dry and cracking and those kind. So I'm kind of wearing them not necessarily for protection as it is to help my hands get better. I'm just not a working man. So, sliding a microphone slide up is about it. But I've been doing yard work because I'm home.
Right.
And it's...
and many of us have, and many of us soar over the past couple of days with the upper 70s. It's been terrific.
Yeah, it's a little cooler today, and might be rainy on Easter Sunday, as we celebrate within our own family. Okay, there is Nick's Paints, and I did tell you about that. Kind of started this week where Nick figured people are painting. He's kind of a guy who serves the contractors.
Yes.
But as far as people know how to mix paint, they're good. So they're right there on John Street between Green and what did we say?
Randolph.
Randolph goes north. How do you remember that?
South.
State for South. I
Mhm.
got you. I still get that
Heading
confused.
south.
Okay, anyway, between Randolph and Green,
Yes.
on John, you'll see Nick's Paints, and what they'll do for you if you'll get hold of them. I almost scratched my nose with my hand, but I used my elbow.
I saw that.
Elbow lock wouldn't have worked, I don't think. So what you do is you get hold of them, you call them, and say, I want some, primer. I want some outdoor primer. I want, put a scraper in there, and I'd like a drop cloth and, maybe a gallon of XY Benjamin Moore paint.
Yeah.
And what they'll do is they'll take your credit card, and then Nick will deliver it to your door, and then like ding dong dash.
Yes.
He'll run. I don't know if he'll run, but he'll leave it there, and then you just grab it without touchy.
And it's all mixed up. If you
everything's
need
done.
any paints, if you need a
stir
drop cloth,
stick,
it's
the
all
whole
there.
thing. Nick's Paints. Cool idea. All right, 359-2255. You have any comments, jump on the text line, area 217-359-2255. You want to comment on stuff, you're welcome to do that. There are 70 cases of COVID-19 in our county, 42 that are active. 27 people have recovered. Only 5 are hospitalized. We've had 1 death. So all in all, and the biggest age group that have COVID-19 right now are between 31 and 40. There are 19 cases between the ages of 31 and 40. This is on Champaign County Public Health. But just the fact that we have 5 currently hospitalized, again, that's fantastic. Let's keep it that way.
Yes.
All right, back in a moment, 746.
This Metler tip is brought to you by Matthew Gordon, Doctor of Physical Therapy with Metler Center.
Neck pain is a very common problem in our population. It affects 10 to 20% of us at any given time. Try stretching your upper traps. You can do this by taking your nose down towards your chest and then over towards your armpit. Hold this for 10 to 20 seconds, and if it improves, great. If not, you may be dealing with a joint problem.
Start your journey with Metler Center. Visit metlercenter.com today.
Get the roof your home deserves. Roof Doctors. They have honest, reasonable rates. They give you competitive prices up front. No gimmicks or contractor pricing games. You can rely on Roof Doctors. No deposit required. No subcontractors. Over 30 years in business in the industry. Check out Roof Doctors at roofdoctorsco.com or call Tammy or Randy at 328-7529. Roof Doctors, 328-7529.
Tired of waiting for your current HVAC company to call you back?
Hello. No one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Call ABC Heating and Air at 217-352-5400. You'll talk to a real human being, and they service all makes and models. It's as easy as ABC. ABC Heating and Air, 217-352-5400. That's 352-5400.
PDR is a AAA Chicago Motor Club approved facility right here in central Illinois. They have an esteemed community reputation, a great facility appearance, and amazing customer service. Plus, the staff is trained and qualified, has the most up-to-date equipment working on your vehicle, a wide scope of services, and warranty coverage. Stop into the AAA Chicago Motor Club approved facility, PDR Automotive on North Cunningham and Urbana, or call them at 367-9481.
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is still functioning, and if something breaks and you need to do something, either get it fixed, and they'll come in and they'll do all the appropriate things so they're not touching your stuff, but they do have to fix your refrigerator, or you can get a new one. Go to appliance-world.com to get started with Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. They are the area's #1 independent appliance dealer, all of Central Illinois. They do have locations in Bloomington, Springfield, Decatur, and of course Champaign. They do offer discount pricing. They have, all the products, all the really well-known appliances, the Maytags, the GE. GE is very popular. Frigidaire, Bosch, Whirlpool. Not only low prices, but the best selection. So, while you normally wouldn't say, gosh, honey, let's go shop for a fridge today, they're there if something is needed, and you certainly have to have an appliance. I mean, in this modern day, keep food cold and all the other stuff.
And if you need a technician, they're CDC compliant with all the sanitizing.
Is that right?
And sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Everybody is these days.
I mean, but is that like something designation you have to get, or?
Well, they're just study up. I know Dennis is right on top of it.
Okay. It's Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Started at appliance-world.com. Appliance-world.com. Well, we're carrying the Cardinal Classics kind of because we've got nothing at night. So we're replaying. The Cardinals have provided us with that run to the World Series in 2011 every night. You can hear that. You probably know about that by now. Also on US 105.9.
Yes, at 6 o'clock Tuesdays and Thursdays, airing games from the Cubs Network as you join and relive some memories. It's the 2016 playoffs and World Series games, so don't forget tonight, Thursday the 9th, you've got some Cubs action on US 105.9.
My friend Jeffrey Breslow, entrepreneur from Chicago, he's a fascinating guy.
Yes, he is. A cool artist with some art on display right near First and St. Mary.
Well, right. He's donated some things, sculptures and things around the campus. But you know those bands that you wear, they're kind of like cause bands.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Little plastic things and bracelets.
Well, he's got the NSH that he's now trademarked, got a patent on, I don't know if it's a patent, but trademarked, and it's a website. And he's about ready to distribute these things. And if somebody comes up to you, when we start opening up a little bit, ready to shake your hand, you just hold up the band. It says, not shaking hands.
Okay.
NSH. And he's got like 6 different ones. Smoking. It's just to remind people to raise their wrists to look at the words again.
Okay.
But he's out and around. He did that in 2 weeks. I'm going, man, that's just amazing. To come up with something that fast. Anyway, he's a good man, Jeffrey Breslow in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a talent.
We got a text into 359-2255 from Larry talking about State Street running south, the SS.
Yeah.
Well, Randolph runs north like Rudolph, who runs in the North Pole. So, Randolph, Rudolph,
I got
if you
it.
can help remember it that way, Steve.
And that's a good way to remember, but I would note that if remember state is south, then I ought to be able to figure out Randolph's the other way. But thank you. But yeah, so if I remember, because I'm from here. I should know Randolph is north and State Street runs south, but I'll remember that better. I still like, okay, now I still can't remember that Channel 15 is like on Channel 20 or something. I still, it's crazy. Remember they switched to went from NBC to ABC like 25 years ago or whatever it was. Okay, so there was a thought in my brain about things that have changed drastically, and I think most things have when it comes to business, but are there businesses that really haven't had much change in what they do? My thought is not much change in Spring Green. We're going to give you $250 to get some yard work done, whether you want aeration or their service for a few months, whatever you're looking for. We'll be doing that in our Stever program, and many on Facebook Live don't know what that is, and I'll explain that at some point. But we've kind of halted pretty much that program simply because we're not encouraged to really go out and around. But with the Spring Green, I mean, they're still out there doing lawns or outside. I think the lawnmower guys, I mean, the entrepreneurs that have like 110 yards, except for people hedging at paying it because maybe unemployment, money concerns, I would think that if you have your own lawn mowing company, I wouldn't think much has changed for you. Grass grows, rain falls, grass grows, you mow, and then you catch up. So I'm just trying to decide if there's been uninterrupted types of businesses, and I think that lawn mowing and Spring Green probably are relatively normal. Anything else? 359-2255. What business hasn't been affected much? And I can't come up with much. I mean, there's been an absolute boondoggle for grocery stores and pharmacies. I mean, that's crazy busy. The numbers are going to look unbelievable when they compare year-to-date next April.
Well, when I think of who's hiring now, it's the grocery stores, it's the drug stores, the CVS's, the Walgreens, things like that, hiring right now. I have friends at Pavlov Media that are hiring for customer service, and they do some tech work for people. So it's pretty cool when you see hiring opportunities in this day and age when we're hearing about 17.6 million Americans.
Customer you have called.
Now, I have to see. This is a hard one because the area code's so long.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and hit a forecast real quick because we typically do that around here. We're expecting some showers late, windy conditions, a wind advisory 10 to 7. Temperatures at 41, up to 51 today, 53 with sunshine tomorrow, 60 on Saturday and Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Diane. Good going getting that in. Ben Quattrone from Honda BMW off Neil at Burwash, and as of June, as announced on the program a week ago, Honda BMW will take over the Subaru and the GMC and the Warden Martin. It's going to be an exciting Neil Street, kind of like Monopoly, where you put houses and then you build hotels. Good going, Ben. I'm excited about that prospect of you taking over all that operation.
It'll be a lot of fun, and June's probably optimistic. It's that's kind of was always kind of a target, but this summer it'll definitely, as soon as the manufacturers provide their approvals and that sort of stuff, there's some due diligence that we work out, but it'd be nice to kind of right in the middle of the summer, so we're looking forward to it.
Hey, Ben,
I had a question about that. Will you keep all those lines of cars in those same places for those locations, Ben?
As far as carrying the brands, of course. A lot of that is Subaru wants Subarus on their lot, and General Motors wants General Motors on their lot, but there's also a little thing called this electric Hummer coming that will be a fun addition to the General Motors lineup.
Ben Quattrone, innovative. I'm thinking if I want to go to a place that's clean, let's see, Carl or Honda? You guys, you're kind of a clean guy, so you guys are wiping it down. You have this disinfectant mist you're putting in the cars. I don't know if there's a cleaner. You're wiping door handles. I mean, aren't you doing that a little too much?
Probably. Our hands are dry and cracking from all the disinfectant and alcohol that's in some of these products. But, the crazy thing is thousands of people are going into the same grocery stores every week, probably a lot more than go into car dealerships and other businesses. And, I mean, we got to protect ourselves, but it's getting a little silly. It's just getting a little silly because some life has to go on. And the needs of the many are still out there, and there's a lot of employees at a lot of businesses like ours, but other places too. They have families, and they need everyone's patronage.
Yep. All right, so if the people want to get something done with you, you've offered this, and I wanted to get you on about it, make sure I had it right. 25% off repairs in the shop for your vehicle. And wait a minute, you'll come and get it, you'll deliver it, disinfect it along the way, use gloves, mask, and everything while they're working on it. I mean, what the world are you doing? How can you keep up with that?
Well, how could we not? We want to keep our technicians earning checks. It's just as simple as keeping the motor running for the families of the 72 employees. We even added, this is really fun, we actually got this from another dealer. So we got a little baggie, a little sandwich bag, and then you come in and you drop your keys in the sandwich bag. We zip it up because most cars you don't have to stick the key in anything.
Right.
And the next time you touch your keys, you just pull them out of the sandwich bag. So we're not even touching your
that's smart. No, it's all good. So how can people have you come to their homes, take their vehicle, fix it, or do whatever, oil change, and then drop it back off? How do they do that?
There's a couple ways. A, they can call us. B, they can go online and make the arrangements through our service online appointment. It generates an email to the service manager. It sends a text to his phone, and he'll personally pick up the phone and call you and figure out what you want to do. We're delivering a pickup truck to Indiana today from a gentleman who's trading in a vehicle. He saw it online. There's 31 pictures. He paid for it online.
Wow.
And someone's on their way there now with his new vehicle, the paperwork, and we're bringing his trade back.
That's awesome.
That's unbelievable.
Doing businesses, that's the easy part.
Wow. Okay, folks, drivechampaign.com or call. What's the best line to call, Ben? Do you have a phone number that they can call?
Call the main line, which is 217-356-0303, and it'll prompt you to wherever you want to go. So
All right, my friend. Keep it up. You're doing great. We appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
It's Ben Quattrone, one of the owners over at Honda BMW. All right, that's Neil and Burwash. And the fact that they're going to come get your car, I don't have to do anything. I can bake cookies, and they'll just do that.
I see national commercials about this happening and the car vending machines and things like that. Do it locally. DriveChampaign.com.
No, that's right. Keep it local. He said, I got 72 guys that are trying to keep their families fed. So that's awesome. All right, time for the news. Stay with us. We'll be right back. It's 8 o'clock. You're listening to WSJK, ESPN 93.5, Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
News alert, the layoffs just keep piling up. I'm Dave Anthony. There's yet another wave of people filing for unemployment. Fox's Lillian Wu gives us the numbers live.
Dave, the number of Americans filing for first-time jobless help last week, 6.61 million. That is above expectations. It's a massive number, but it's not a record. That's because last week's numbers were revised up to 6.867 million, up from 6.6. The running total for the past 3 weeks now comes to almost 17 million people asking for jobless help, and the number could be even higher, with some states struggling to fill a backlog. Dave?
Lillian, Wall Street may have expected a worse number. Dow futures were down before the report. Now they're up more than 300 points. The Federal Reserve is activating what's called a Main Street lending program to help provide loans at all levels, from local governments to American citizens to businesses.
More than half of American workers work in small businesses. A number of them have closed down temporarily, have a few more weeks or months to be able to survive.
That's Republican Congressman Kevin Brady as the Senate next hour considers approving $250 billion more in small business loans, hoping for a quick voice vote approval. House Democrats are considering adding money to other things like hospitals. Brady told Fox they're just getting aid now from the last stimulus bill.
So I say, let's see how those work.
We're being congratulated on staying home.
People have been more engaged in social distancing than what anyone ever could have or would have predicted.
Now, Surgeon General Dr. Jerome Adams told Fox it is now saving lives, as the projections of coronavirus deaths are way down, below 100,000, but it's still the worst week. Yesterday's numbers were the most yet, nearly 15,000 total in the U.S. And Britain's Prime Minister Boris Johnson remains in intensive care but is improving. America's listening to Fox News.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
In the ongoing effort to get more medical supplies to doctors or nurses or EMTs, President Trump says 300 million more masks are coming in May and June.
We're thinking about doing an extra 200 million should we need them, or for the stockpile.
But Democrats in Congress say the federal stockpile being depleted has left states competing with each other looking for supplies. Now, a lot of Americans are taking CDC advice and making their own masks so they don't take those away from medical workers. But keep this in mind.
A new study suggests coronavirus can live on the outer layer of those masks for up to 7 days. That's the bad news. The good news, the study published in Lancet says the virus is susceptible to standard disinfection methods.
That's Fox's Tom Graham. There's been much talk about the need for ventilators, but there's a growing effort to try to keep corona victims off of them.
Ventilators are used to push oxygen into patients whose lungs are failing, and experts say 40 to 50% of those with severe respiratory distress die while on a vent. The death rate of coronavirus patients put on ventilators at the U.S. virus epicenter of New York City is much higher, 80%, which is similar to numbers from the UK and China. Now, some doctors are trying other things to keep patients off the ventilator, like having patients lie in different positions to help the lungs or giving them oxygen through nose tubes. Another reason for the alternate treatment need, short supply of ventilators could grow as the virus continues to spread in the U.S. In New York City, Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Now back to our top Fox story developing in the last half hour. Another big wave of layoffs across America. The number of first-time jobless claim filings last week hit 6.6 million. The number the week before was revised up to 6.87 million. That's a record. In the last 3 weeks, nearly 17 million Americans filing for unemployment claims. But on Wall Street, stock futures are surging. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Good morning. I'm Jamie Monticelli with your ESPN 93.5 local news update. We are up to 70 cases of COVID-19 in Champaign County. That's according to the Champaign-Urbana Public Health District. The Illinois Department of Public Health said for the second time in 2 days, Illinois set a single-day high for COVID-19 deaths with 82 on Wednesday. The death toll statewide hit 482. The IDPH director said although the numbers are increasing, they are increasing at a lower rate. In order to repair pavement failures, A&A Concrete will be closing one northbound lane of Prospect Avenue between Green Street and Healy Street. Repair work will begin on Monday, April 13th, and it'll reopen by Friday the 17th, weather permitting. In order to facilitate construction at 210 East University Avenue, A&R Services will close one westbound lane of University Avenue between 2nd Street and 3rd Street. That'll happen tomorrow between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Westbound traffic will be cut to one lane in the area. You're up to date. I'm Jamie Monticelli.
All right, thank you, Jamie. ESPN 93.5, second hour of the program. My name is Stevie J. Good to have you listening, however you're listening, whether you're streaming at StevieJay.com or maybe on Facebook Live or maybe on the YouTube channel. We welcome you. Thank you for watching and or listening. Diane Ducey now with our weather.
A nice morning. We've got a high 51 expected. Some showers in the forecast late. A wind advisory from 10 to 7. Gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Sunshine tomorrow with a high 53, low 36. Up towards 60 with the clouds on Saturday's forecast. Scattered showers could happen on Resurrection Sunday with a high 61. 41 now on ESPN 93.5.
Troy Lands, Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. How are you, my friend?
Good morning. Doing well on yourself?
I'm fine. So if I want to get we had the AC on a little bit yesterday. So
yes, we did.
I need to probably get that checked out. Can you do that without infecting me?
Absolutely. Yep. We're taking the necessary precautions. You know, we've got the guys who got masks, they've got gloves, they have disinfectant, and we are trying, you know, doing the social distance. We're not trying to be rude, not shaking hands, and just trying to let people stay their distance and still get some work done if needed. And if people are comfortable coming to their homes, we're doing it. We had we had quite a few calls yesterday for cooling, which was a nice surprise.
Well, you know what? If something isn't working, you need help, and you guys are standing by to fix them. You got the staff, you got the people. You can come and do that for them, because if something breaks, you need it fixed. You really need it fixed. And so now I think we're back to furnace. Is that right? Because it's going to get to 32 in the next few days. So we're
that
balance.
I had to tease us a little bit, but yeah, it's in that weird season that we're not sure if we should run it. We're running the air in the day and furnace at night.
Yep. And then, of course, if I have a sump problem, you can do that too.
That is correct. Yep. With the rain coming through, and April generally brings showers, so if be sure that sump's working. We have backup sump pumps. We actually have alarms you can put on there in case it's the middle of the night or you're gone. I know people aren't traveling too far nowadays, but hopefully shortly we'll be back into the travel mode, and you can receive an alarm on your phone. And let somebody know it's a problem, get the neighbor to let us in, and we'll fix it for you.
Well, you help with the septic too, don't you? A lot of people staying home more, using more water and.
Yes, yep, drain cleaning, and you know, even though that they say that those towels are flushable, if it's not toilet paper, don't flush it. That's my free tip for the day. Do not flush.
Yeah.
Because guaranteed, it may be a little bit, but what happens is it doesn't slide down the pipe like toilet paper does, or degrade, and then eventually you'll get a block, and we'll be out to help you, but it's going to cost a little bit of money.
Same with the
last I checked, we're not a nonprofit.
Same with Kleenex. You don't want much Kleenex down there either, right?
No.
Okay. All right. So the battle continues to find toilet paper. I get you. Troy, how do people reach you?
355-5512 or landsinc.com.
Okay, my friend. Hang in there. We're going to get through.
Yep.
Thank you,
We
buddy.
bet you. Talk to you soon.
All right. Troy Lands, Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. ESPN 93.5. Well, working from home, maybe not all it's cracked up to be. Network specialist, chief visionary officer, former CEO of BNI.com, organizational behavioral guy, Dr. Ivan Misner. Is it Misner? I bet it's Misner.
Misner, you've got it.
Dr. Ivan Misner, Ph.D. Your family's very proud of you, Ivan. Good work.
Thanks for listening. Call me Ivan, please.
Ivan, talk to me about this change in our life over the last 4 weeks. What kinds of things are good and what kinds of things are not so good?
Well, so I think obviously we've had a lot of changes over the last few weeks, and I think that people that I generally see two groups of people. There are those who are frozen in fear, and those who fear gives them focus. And I've been in business now for 35 years with BNI, and I can tell you categorically, having gone through many difficult times, not quite like this one, but that the people who are focused by fear are the ones who are going to come out of this the other side and be okay. It's going to be tough for everybody, but they're going to be okay. And you've got to. This is the time to activate your network, not just sit back and watch the news all day long, but to activate your network and connect with people and build relationships. You know, one of the biggest complaints I've heard, over the years because I run a network is that people don't have time to network. Well, you got a lot of time right now, so use it wisely.
Yeah,
that's my first bit of advice.
Okay, what's your second?
Well, if you're working from home, there's a couple of things. Two main themes. One is working from home. The other is maybe networking from home. But if you're working from home, you got to have a dedicated workspace. Don't wing it. Don't just roll out of bed and sit at the coffee table and turn on the TV and think you're working. You have to have a dedicated workspace, which means you need to have some contextual discernment. You know your house better than anyone else. You know your work style better than anyone else. Use your work style and the house to determine where the best place to work is. I mean, my wife's got to be with big windows, and if she can't, see color, she can't work. Me, you can put me in a corner at a coffee table, I'm fine. I just want it quiet. So you have to have some contextual discernment. Work in an area that has as few distractions as possible. Don't. Here's another one. Microdose on the news when you're working from home. Microdose.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what's happening is I know a guy who's sitting in front of the TV watching the news at home 8 or 10 hours a day. And, of course, from his perspective, the world is coming to an end.
Right.
Well, that's not going to help him any.
Right.
In a few weeks, when business, starts up again, he's going to be behind the 8 ball. And so microdose it. I read or watch a little in the morning, and I read or watch a little at night, and that's it. Here's another one, social media. No cat videos, okay?
No cat videos. I got
shoot.
you. No, I know. We love the cat videos. Dr. Ivan Misner, he's a Ph.D. He's written a book, Who's in Your Room? The Secret to Creating Your Best Life. Dr. Ivan Misner is our guest for a few more minutes here on ESPN 93.5. We should probably get out of your jammies, too.
Yeah, so I'll give you the official answer and then what I do. The official answer is, you should dress like you're going to work. I don't do that. I am so casual. I work from home. I've gone full circle.
Okay.
We're in 70 countries, but I started my business in my home, and I now work at home again. And I got to tell you, when I'm sitting in front of a Zoom call or a GoToMeeting call, don't ask me to stand because I'll be wearing sweatpants or sweatshorts. So I'm a real believer in being comfortable if you're working from home.
And tell me what BNI is, Ivan. What's BNI again?
Okay, so BNI is you'll love this. We're an in-person, face-to-face network. We have 9,500 locations in 70 countries.
What?
So when people say to me, you don't understand, I've been devastated by this virus. Well, Think about having 9,500 groups that meet every week.
Wow.
In person. So we flipped, my CEO, he saw around a corner, and we flipped to online.
Wow.
Started in January.
Good for you.
And so we now have 9,500 weekly meetings online. Anyone who's interested can go to BNI.com, but we've got chapters all over the world, and they're all online. Now, I think the world's changed. The genie's out of the bottle.
Yeah.
And what we're going to see is a hybrid kind of business down the road where there's this much more of a combination of in-person and online. Certainly with our organization, I think it's inevitable.
I wonder if it's going to change higher education when we figured out we can go online and learn, too.
Right.
Well, let me tell you something. I hope it does. You're talking to somebody who was a professor for 16 years and who was on the board of trustees for a university. I've seen it, out in the classroom, and I've seen it where the president reports to us. And our educational system is broken. We are charging way too much for kids. We're putting them in debt. And I think the university, I'm way off topic now, but I think the university system is going to be changed forever, and I think for the better for students, because it's just, brick and mortar is just too expensive.
Hey, Ivan, I'd love to have you again.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of stuff, man. You got stuff. Ivan Misner, I would like to contact you and have you again because I think you have added a lot here. Can people still buy What's in Your Room?
Who's in Your Room is available on Amazon as an audio, or it's available as a softcover or hardcover book, Kindle. Just go to Amazon.com. Anyone interested in BNI, go to BNI.com.
I definitely am interested in having you again, Ivan. Appreciate your time. Keep up your great work. Congratulations on your success.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate you.
You betcha. Dr. Ivan Misner.
And Red Cross tapped him as Humanitarian of the Year. We hadn't even touched on that.
Yeah, I didn't have time. I mean, the guy's got some depth, doesn't he?
But I love working in a dedicated workspace that has few distractions. I love the microdose on news.
Yeah.
I love the discernment on where you're going to work or on the homeschooling study. You know, my Aiden has, where's the dog? And then, SpongeBob is on over here. We're just so frustrated with the homeschooling formula.
Keep the TV off for a minute.
I know that.
It's hard to turn that on. I have the TV on for the the coronavirus pressers, and then we might watch a movie at night.
Okay.
There's not much to watch. I mean, you don't really get into binge during the day. You got to get something done.
That's right.
But no, listen, Aiden has autism.
Yes.
You've got other challenges in there, so I'm sure Anna is being perfect and doing everything she's asked. So I'm positive of
Anna and Aiden having at it all the time.
They're
Aiden,
great.
you're taking too big of bites, and Aiden, you sound so bad when you're eating, and it's just picking at each other because we're all in the house at the same
just
time.
fine. Let's have story time. Let's read a book and sit in
Then
front
they'll
of me.
argue about what to
Crisscross
read to each other.
applesauce.
Okay,
We're going to be
in
fine.
your world, maybe.
We better get some sort of National Alliance of Mental Illness here on the line to help us kind of sort through some of these complicated times. 70 cases of coronavirus in Champaign County, 5 hospitalized, 1 death. 27 have recovered. Those are the kind of in a nutshell numbers that we have this morning for you.
We've had people chime in at 359-2255 here on ESPN 93.5. Stevie J. Russ Gulliford with Gulliford Septic Service and Illinois Portable Toilets. Our septic business has increased, likely due to more people staying at home, using more water. Tanks need service. By the way, we've discovered where all that toilet paper ends up.
I bet you have.
Also, the portable toilet side is doing fine.
Okay.
And another person texting in.
We were asking last hour for those just jumping in, what businesses have not been affected? I came up with Spring Green and maybe a guy with a lawnmower business. That's probably relatively the same, wouldn't you think?
Well, I know my brother Gary has talked about Deuce Construction, and, the construction workers are aware of their distance and touching each other, obviously, but and trying not to do that. But the construction industry seems to be going fine. And especially
If
with
the project is still going.
Right.
You still have the flow of money has to keep going.
Yeah.
If that's still going, then I think you could space out and still do some concrete.
So farming hasn't changed, Stevie. Feels normal to be out here on the tractor.
There you go. If you get your supplies, you're kind of your own boss. That's the same, I guess.
Some planting done.
Yeah, get it going. I don't know when you start. I guess you start now. We're into April. And we remember last year couldn't get the corn planted till what, May or June? Ugh, sorry to bring that up.
Steve Emke had just chimed in about why isn't the media reporting on how many are recovering from the virus?
27 in our county, but you're right, you don't hear about that. Absolutely right.
Give us some faith.
No question. I think we have light at the end of the tunnel. That's my opinion. Let's check your weather.
Up to 51, down to 31. More clouds as the day wears on, and windy conditions. 10 to 7, a wind advisory. Sun and a high 53 tomorrow, down to 36. Clouds and a high 61 Saturday. Maybe some rain and thunderstorms for Easter Sunday with a high 61. 43 now on ESPN 93.5.
All right, going to check your Fox Business Minute. This is the kind of times we're in. We just had 6.6 unemployment claims, jobless claims, and the market's going, woohoo! Thought it was going to be higher. Dow Jones is going to open over 400 points up in 10 minutes. That's good news. 8:20.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's a fresh reading on the job market, and it's more dismal than predicted. There were 6.6 million new jobless claims filed in the week ending April 4th. Economists were predicting 5 million new claims. There were approximately 10 million Americans applying for unemployment benefits in the 2 previous weeks. The staggering numbers could be even worse in reality because some states appear to be struggling to process high volumes of claims. Apple could be seeing a significant drop in iPhone sales because of the coronavirus. Analysts at KeyBank believe iPhone sales may have dropped more than 50% in March because of retail store closures. They believe Apple hasn't been able to make up that business by selling phones online. The trend is also expected to have an impact on Apple suppliers. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
It's a very confusing and stressful time right now, especially for our wounded and ill veterans and their caregivers. Practice social distancing, wash your hands frequently, and stay at home to avoid exposure. If you don't have symptoms or have questions, use secure messaging through My Healthy Vet or the VA telehealth service. If you develop symptoms, please call your local VA facility. We will get through this. For more details, visit va.gov/coronavirus.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. With each election year, it's important to remember negativity and conflicts are common. Investors should realize future success depends on sound long-term investment strategies and staying the course. If you have concerns with your portfolio, we can help create a long-term plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 3017 Village Office Place in Champaign, 366-3456, or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, or registered investment advisor.
Big Grove Tavern in downtown Champaign has a great meal to feed forward this Easter Sunday. Your choice of grilled prime ribeye or 2-day braised beef short ribs, served with choices of potatoes, vegetables, and salad. You can add on egg casserole, mac and cheese, or biscuits. And don't forget to add some wine to your meal as well from Big Grove's great selection. Just give your order and they'll have a pickup time ready to suit your schedule. Email sales at biggrovetavern.com or call 239-3505. Big Grove, big flavor.
Thank you, Dawn and Jerry and Rick and Mark and Kathy and Oslam and Heath, all watching Facebook Live.
Nice.
Streaming every morning, 7 to 9 on Facebook Live. Also the YouTube channel. Also StevieJay.com. You can click on Listen Live and stream us on the radio. A lot of different platforms because so much has changed. And speaking of which, Diane Zell is the National Alliance on Mental Illness President, or NAMI. Diane, how are you?
Good morning. I'm hanging in there. How are you doing?
Well, I'm hanging in there, and I think that we had economist Steve Moore on yesterday, and he said 1 point of unemployment equals 10,000 deaths. And I don't think we recognize the impact of not working and despair and depression. The projection to lose 60,000 with COVID-19 is awful, but 50,000 kill themselves every year. I mean, those are big numbers. I mean, 88,000 die from alcohol abuse. I mean, these are, put it in perspective, this is bad, but boy, the mental side of things, Diane, we've got it going on in Champaign County. What can we do? How do we know what to spot a problem?
Well, I think that, first of all, we have to realize that everybody feels the way we do. That we're all feeling anxious, fearful. We hate the uncertainty. You know, we may desire to use a little more alcohol than we normally would. People that already have a mental health diagnosis are at a special risk. So they really have to practice a lot of coping skills, self-care, things that you've probably already heard of, like controlling your breath, you know, making sure that you eating well, that you get enough sleep, that you exercise. And hey, I go out and garden. Garden's very therapeutic. If you have a yard that you can go out in, making sure that that you take care of yourself and that you reach out if it becomes too much.
Well, we need to talk more about this. And for whatever reason, there's still plenty of stigma with some sort of mental illness. And Diane, I would argue, and it's all anecdotal, but there's got to be half of America's got some sort of twitch, right? I mean, there's a lot of people that struggle with this.
Oh, absolutely. We know that 1 out of 5 families is seriously affected by mental health issues. And that, you know, in any given year, 1 out of 4 people might seek help for some sort of a mental health problem. And obviously, it's only going to be made worse because of this coronavirus scare. So we do have to, you mentioned, you have to put it in perspective, though. I mean, we can only control so much. We have to make sure that we are caring for ourselves, that we're keeping in contact with our loved ones, and to realize that you need to make sure you get your information from a reliable source and try to limit how much media exposure you have. Because after a while, you're hearing the same thing over and over again. It's all dismal, and it's all death, and it's all destruction. And that's very hard for anyone to cope with. So I think, you know, that we have to make sure we remain connected with one another virtually. Of course, my family, we're planning to have a drive-by birthday party for my granddaughter.
Wonderful.
You know, just so that you can keep the connections going. You know, video chat.
There's a lot to looking forward to something, right?
Yes, you do have to maintain hope. And I would recommend, for example, the NAMI National Helpline has very good suggestions on all kinds of topics, and that's at www.nami.org/COVID-19. And you can also reach them from a hotline number, 800-950-6264.
Diane,
but don't forget we have a 211 local number for any kind of social service agency. If you're out of work and you need extra help at this time, all the local service agencies, social service agencies, can be reached through 211.
Diane Zell, National Alliance Mental Illness, or NAMI for Champaign County. Hang in there. Keep up your great work. We need you.
Thank you so much, and you as well. Stay healthy.
Yep, you too. Thank you, Diane Zell with NAMI.
And good to focus on coping skills and breathing, exercise, gardening, and not getting so wrapped up through social media and all the doom and gloom news that you're reading, and reaching out if it's too much. 1-800-950-6264, NAMI.org/COVID-19.
And in this time of anxiousness, I feel compelled to say it again. I feel insulated. I really do, with faith. And according to the national studies, 55% have turned to prayer, which I think in this time of secularism, that's a big number. And I'm excited about it. I mean, maybe people that are searching, that feel in a very dark place, would reach out to somebody who could explain the Bible. And maybe there's hope in there that they don't know about, or maybe they're interested in hearing more about it right now. That's okay. It's good. It's good to be curious. It's good to look. But to just not be very anxious, I'm not very anxious. There's a lot of things for me to be anxious about right now. There's a lot of things.
Sure.
I mean, we're all kind of fighting through this in
Right.
the private industry of trying to survive.
And you as a business owner, you want your employees to stay paid.
I'm in radio and travel. How's that going for you? You want to go on a cruise, Diane? I'd suggest a balcony in case you're quarantined. How's that going for you?
I know.
I mean, but I'm just saying that there's the power of prayer, and whether or not you're at all interested in that, it might be something to look at right now because of the desperation in so many hearts. And one of the great verses in the Bible is in Philippians 4:6, don't be anxious about anything. And you can read the rest of that, Philippians 4:6. I'm just telling you that I almost feel like I've got this bubble around me, and it's not fair. But yet I don't have something exclusive either. I don't just have it, and it's not just Stevie J. It's just what I believe. And I just would encourage you to explore and look, and maybe there's something there for you. But I'm telling you, you go through stuff like this with empty, it's pretty empty. I don't know how you do it.
That's right.
We think glasses.
Some of our listeners on Facebook Live.
Marty's jumped up, and so has John. The greatest oboe player in the world is actually watching me on Facebook. I am so honored. John D. He is the best oboe player in the world.
Sounds
How do you
wonderful.
know that? Well, because I said so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And StevieJay.com
Yeah.
if you're hearing something and you want the podcast later today.
Okay, and you can text me, area 217. So many listen now from other parts of the world. 217-359-2255. You want to check in. It's 8:30.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Another 6.6 million Americans filed new unemployment claims last week, bringing that total to 16.6 million in the last 3 weeks when coronavirus shutdowns and slowdowns started taking hold. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell says he will try to push through another $250 billion today for a program meant for small businesses to keep paying people. Fox's Rich Edson.
He's tweeted, quote, I hope none of my colleagues object to my request for these urgently needed funds. There's no reason why this bipartisan job-saving program should be held hostage for other priorities. Now, this effort could very well stall. Democrats say they also want more funding for hospitals and state and local governments to address the coronavirus.
Some Americans could start getting the individual stimulus money passed by Congress direct deposited into their bank accounts as soon as today or early next week. America's listening to Fox News.
Good morning. I'm Jamie Monticelli with your ESPN 93.5 local news update. The Champaign County Freedom Celebration will be canceled for this year. That includes the parade, the 5K race, and the fireworks. That's to ensure that they keep the university and visitors safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. The decision was prompted by the University of Illinois' decision to cancel all summer events until further notice. Piatt County Sheriff David Hunt has tested positive for COVID-19. The sheriff's office said on Facebook that Hunt started experiencing symptoms on March 27th and immediately went into self-quarantine. He was not tested until his symptoms worsened and he was taken to a hospital. The Post said he was released from the hospital later that same day and continues to be in isolation and in quarantine at his home. The DeWitt-Piatt County Health Department remains in contact and monitors his health every day. He and his family are following the appropriate measures as provided by the Health Department and the CDC. You're up to date. I'm Jamie Monticelli.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. At Provident, our job is to help people plan for and get through some of life's toughest challenges. Our mission is to provide each of our clients with individualized strategies, premier service, and independent thinking to help them achieve their financial goals. Contact us today at 3017 Village Office Place, Champaign. Call 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Happy and honored to welcome Sergeant Seth Herrig, Champaign County Sheriff's Department. Seth, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me today.
Congratulations, you are our honored person of the month of March.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, it was kind of surprising for me to when I was notified of it, but I don't know. It's hard to say. You don't do this job for those kind of accolades, but
It's just a shout out to you guys because you're out there, man. You're risking your butt. It's hard. It's difficult. I'm against tinted windows so bad. I just hate those so much.
Yeah, those are no fun for us.
No idea what you're getting. Why do we allow tinted windows?
You know, I'm not sure why that is. It makes it tough for us when we're approaching vehicles because we don't know what's inside the vehicle, in the back seats or in the front seats. I mean, obviously before you had to have tint in the back windows, but you couldn't up in the driver's area as well as the front passenger seat area. But now that's all changed.
Stevie J Broadcasting, proud to salute our law enforcement official of the month. Here's your ESPN 93.5 3-day weather from the National Weather Service.
Starting out sunny and breezy. In fact, a wind advisory from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. with gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Currently at 18. We've got a high 51, low 31 expected, and a 40% chance of precipitation later on. Sunshine back in the forecast tomorrow, high 53, low 36. Clouds on Saturday, high 61. 61 with rain and thunderstorms in the forecast for Sunday. It's usually, I have rainy conditions on Good Friday no matter where I am.
Really?
And sunshine on Easter Sunday. But now it's flip-flopped on this forecast.
All right.
We're at 43 now on ESPN 93.5.
All right, Marty says, preach it, brother. Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
Anxious and faith and stuff a few moments ago.
Right, and we had a text into 217-359-2255 from John. Worry is a conversation you have with yourself about things you cannot change. Prayer is a conversation you have with God about things He can change.
Absolutely correct. Boyd Matheson, Deseret News opinion writer, Deseret.com, DeseretNews.com or DeseretNews.com, I think.
Either way. You can go either way.
Boyd Matheson dovetails perfectly into what we're discussing. You wrote yesterday about what?
That obviously Good Friday is tomorrow, and it's an opportunity for us to, in the midst of this coronavirus, to get rid of the fake fight and the false choice once and for all, that you can have faith and reason, you can have science, and you can have the spiritual, and it's really time to bring all of those together in the midst of this coronavirus.
I just said that I think if you are extraordinarily depressed or you know somebody who is, maybe it's a time to do that searching. If 55% of the country has said they're praying about coronavirus, I find that to be extraordinarily optimistic.
That is, and that's a good thing. It's a really good thing. And, there's been a number of organizations that have come together and said, hey, it is time to do fasting and prayer. Let's give that a try in the midst of this. And it doesn't mean that you have to abandon the science, and we don't abandon the social distancing and all of the other precautions. But bringing both of those things together is real powerful. It was interesting this past weekend here in Salt Lake City. President Russell M. Nelson, who's the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Normally, the first week of April is the big conference, the annual conference of the church, the big 21,000-seat conference center, and that was empty. And in the midst of that, he spoke to the 16 million members around the world and to people of the faith and people of every other faith, and said, you know what, this is a good time for us to put fasting and prayer and faith on behalf of those that are working, the scientists that are trying to come up with cures and all of those kinds of things, the first responders, the economy, and bring all of that together. And I think it's a great call and a great chance for everyone to just pause a little bit and get back to the essence of things. I think it's so easy for us to skim across the surface, and we often, miss the deeper meaning of things. And so again, I think Easter week is a great week. I love the way Diane said it there. It's you have to have Good Friday. Often in our rush to resurrection morning, our rush to Easter morning, we sort of forget Good Friday, and it's a great time to pause and really repurpose a little.
Well, no question. Boyd Matheson, Deseret News. He's in Salt Lake City this morning. And then we get, this is an answer to prayers. The downgraded death numbers at 60,000 puts it in perspective of what we thought it was going to be, which is over 2 million deaths if we did nothing, to 100,000 to 240,000 predicted deaths in America in the last week, to now 60,000. We're at 15,000 now. And if you put it in perspective, with 600,000 people dying every year from cancer, 50,000 suicides a year, roughly, 88,000 from alcohol abuse, it kind of puts it in perspective. No death is good when it comes to a virus, but this is great news from the standpoint of what we thought, Boyd.
Yes, it is great news, and it shows what happens when we come together, when we focus on the right things. It's easy to get caught in the doomsday conversations and people who try to weaponize things like this for political purposes or to get power, or fame, or prominence, or whatever it may be. But when we come back and really get to, wow, look, when we come together, when we unite, we can get some things done. And then how we move forward is the real test. I think one of the really important things that we need to look at moving forward is we've kind of come through the front end of it, and I think the curve has obviously been flattened by many of the things that have taken place. The back end is equally as important in terms of what we continue to do as we re-engage the economy. We always say the real test is when we all come out of our caves and start re-engaging in the economy. Then what do? Do we keep some good practices and some good social norms that are going to be helpful to us? But those things are all really key, and you're never going to find those in those who are trying to raise money off it, those who are trying to get political points off of it. That never leads us to the best place.
Well, and I think there is light at the end of the tunnel. Do you sense that as well?
Yeah, I think there's a feeling in the country that, hey, look at that. It is flattening. Those who were, predicting the 1 million, 2 million, and then to see those continue to step back, that's very hopeful. That's very optimistic. Now we've got to get ready to really help, and it's the individuals, it's the families, it's the communities that are really driving things, and then our small business owners that are the heart and soul of this country. Over 80% of the jobs are in those small entrepreneurial companies, and we got to make sure we're ready to engage with them. We often say, hey, we got to help them, but we got to also recognize the help that they give us. They provide most of the jobs and most of the services that we take in the country. And I think it's one other really quick reminder is that rarely in these things do we need to look to Washington for the answers. Most of this happens in our communities and what each of us are willing to do day to day.
Politics another day, but it looks like Trump-Pence against Biden-Harris.
I think that's a pretty good prediction there in terms of where we're headed, and it's fascinating that we've sort of been in this suspended animation of politics for a minute, and it does cause you to kind of step back and say, okay, what's really important? We've got a little bit. The politics haven't dominated, but then here's the test for all of us: is some of us have found working from home and working remote and doing these things that 3/4 of the meetings we sit in are a waste of time, and most could be done in an email or a phone call, and so we kind of get back to this essence of what really matters. The challenge for us, both politically and in our personal lives, will be once we do start to re-engage, do we fill that back up with stuff, or do we maintain our focus on the essence of what really matters most?
Yeah, right. No, you're right. And we get bogged down on the wrong things, and it's constant. And if you listen to too much of it, it just drives you crazy.
That's right.
Man.
That's right. Some of us started out crazy.
Yeah.
Boyd and Stevie, we have a texter, Wade, that says no sports, limited jobs, no traveling, quarantine. Have I got your attention yet? God.
There you go. There you go. And
I love that.
I've called and I've said it for years. I think we need a good old-fashioned Billy Graham tent revival in this country. Maybe this is it.
Yeah, and I think it is one of those opportunities. And again, so many people are engaging in this worldwide fast tomorrow as part of Good Friday to say, look, let's all come together and let's get back to the essence of what matters. Let's get rid of the divisiveness. Let's get rid of the false choice of this or that, and let's realize that there's a lot of good and a lot of people. One of my favorite quotes is Abraham Lincoln. He said, "I've been driven many times to my knees by the overwhelming conviction that I had nowhere else to go." And I think that's where we are. And I think as a nation, I mean, we have been brought to our knees economically and socially, And the thing that I found, Stevie, is that when you get knocked to your knees, it's good to just pause while you're down there.
That's right.
Look up,
Yep.
ask heaven for a little bit of help, and unite with other people, because that is how we lift each other up, and that's how we actually move forward.
And just to tell you the crazy time we're in, 6.6 million claimed unemployment this last week, an egregious number, and the market said, yippee! It's up 481 points after news like that. I have no idea how that all works. It's crazy. Anyway, it just, how do you figure, if you have 6.6 million unemployed, you'd think it'd be like a disaster, but it's, woohoo! and the down's it hit 24,000 again. So, I mean, there's some encouraging things I'm seeing. We'll see. Boyd, you're the best. How do people reach or find you?
They can get me Deseret.com or DeseretNews.com. Either way, you can get there. Then you can also follow me on Twitter at Boyd Matheson.
Yeah, learned guy, good guy. Thanks, Boyd. Appreciate you.
Hey, happy Easter to all of you. Thanks for all you guys do
betcha.
out there. You're critical voices.
Thank
all
you.
the best.
Thank you, Boyd. You as well. Salt Lake City, Utah.
And you can always rehear these segments at StevieJay.com. It's essentially radio on demand here at ESPN 93.5.
Well, Boyd was on the program a few weeks ago, maybe it was a month ago, back when there was a little normalcy. And he said, I kind of have to go because I'm going to interview Michael Bloomberg. I said, okay, go. And then he sent me the interview. I said, you did a really good job getting and pulling out the I'm Michael Bloomberg and I'm not as smug as you think I am. I said, you dragged that right out of him.
Right.
He texts back.
We were enjoying the money he was spending all over the nation, though, for those political ads.
I didn't see a dime.
Dang it.
Spent $1 billion. Come on, man. Throw me a bone, dude. You know who's busy? PDR Automotive. John Marshall, still fixing cars.
Yes.
Doing a great job.
The goal at PDR Automotive in Urbana is a simple one: to provide you with the safe, reliable transportation in your vehicle. They aren't just after the quick fix to get you back on the road, but instead have two main priorities. They want you to feel safe in your automobile, and they want you satisfied with their work. PDR has been in business since 1973 for a reason. They give quality service and will explain every turn of the wrench. So call them the next time your car or truck has an issue at 367-9481, or visit them on Cunningham Avenue in Urbana.
Hickory River Smokehouse is open with drive-through, catering, and delivery. There's nothing better than real Texas barbecue, and no better place to get it than Hickory River Smokehouse. Every cut of beef brisket, pork loin, turkey breast, and chicken are rubbed with a signature spice blend, infused with hickory smoke for juicy award-winning flavor, and served up right here in Central Illinois for 25 years. You can count on Hickory River. Visit the drive-through or call your location for delivery.
Hey, Grandma, I haven't heard from you in forever. Why don't we message on the computer anymore?
I just don't trust the darn thing anymore. Viruses, people stealing my bank records. Why can't we just go back to the way it used to be? A handwritten note or a long Sunday evening phone call.
Grandma, you don't have to be scared of the internet anymore. Just contact Area-Wide Technologies, 359-8041.
Thank you, Johnny. Now how about you message me that report card of yours?
Gotta go.
Hi, this is Mary Jurison, the office manager at CU Under Construction and CU Trade Services. When I started here 8 years ago, I was excited to work with such passionate owners. Little did I know how much that would inspire my passion into remodeling and building. At CU Under Construction and CU Trade Services, I know how much we care about your home. My team of ladies and our amazing crews are here for any of your home needs. Check out our website at cuunderconstruction.com and thecuservices.com. The next time you have a home project or any type of service need, call us and see how we are building better together.
All right, 8:47. I'm Stevie J. Good to have you watching. Jeannie is watching. Eric, Pat, Faith, thanks for watching on Facebook Live. Good morning, y'all. Jeannie from Texas. Good morning, y'all.
Okay.
Let's check weather.
We've got 44, sunshine, windy, winds out of the west-northwest, 21 miles per hour right now. The wind advisory from 10 to 7 has wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. We've got a high 51, a low 31 expected, and the 40% chance of showers comes our way later on. Sunshine and a high 53 tomorrow, down to around 36. Some clouds on Saturday's forecast, high 61, low 47. 62 with rainy and thunder on Sunday. Right now the temperature's again 44 with the sunshine on ESPN 93.5.
Jeannie in Texas had recalled she'd sent me a message about in college at Eastern when somebody called us out for being immature, and I don't remember that because I don't think it was the only time. So that might be the problem. You're just immature. I don't remember because maybe that's happened a lot to me.
Do you remember the expression "sure, Bob"? When people were sarcastic or they didn't necessarily believe what you
Sure,
said.
Bob?
Sure, Bob.
I don't remember that. I don't remember
I
the
don't know why that came up the other day, but
I don't know.
it did.
Yeah, I don't know that one. There are a lot of phrases I don't know, though.
I have seen social media posts of some of these beautiful blossoms that we're getting on some of the trees this spring and how people are just sitting on their patio enjoying a cup of coffee.
You know, slowing the wheel down a little bit. There is that.
I
enjoyed
know.
it. Mark's in Texas saying, sitting, staying for now. I'm in Texas. Well, and he's enjoying the show. Thank you, Mark.
As the nation's doctor, I often get asked, what should I do if I think I might have coronavirus?
People who are sick should stay home. You don't go to an emergency room. You don't go to a clinic. You get on the phone and you ask for advice and instructions from your physician.
We don't want you to go into the ER or the doctor's office without talking to them first because you might spread coronavirus to someone else. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information.
From the health of every American to the health of your portfolio, Fox Business brings you complete coronavirus coverage. As markets continue to react with extreme volatility, Fox Business shows you how to navigate the turmoil with instant analysis to help you make your next move. Plus, breaking reports from Washington to Main Street, keeping you on top of every development as it happens. Turn to Fox Business for the continuing coronavirus coverage every investor needs.
Busey Bank is honored to serve you. To our healthcare workers, first responders, and local businesses, you're central to the communities we're proud to call home. Busey's grateful to partner with you and your families through life's ups and downs, today and for generations to come. Because as neighbors helping neighbors, we're in this together. Busey, grateful to serve the communities we call home. Member FDIC.
Yeah, and the money update as far as where's my money, the $1,200, if you filed electronically, I think they're shooting for like next week, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
If you filed with the mail, the U.S. mail, I think the $1,200 check should be mailed to you beginning April 20. And today's the 9th, so 11 days till it goes in the mail. And I think mail's a little slower these days. I don't know if anybody else is noticing that. But it might be because the U.S. Postal Service might have people out or limited numbers of people. I don't know. But I've just noted anecdotally, again, maybe a day or two longer than normal, which is, I think, what they do every day. I know they get criticized. I know they lose money and all that stuff. But you know what? For whatever it is, 55 cents, I'll give you that. Take that bill over that building. I'm not going to spend that time doing that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
In fact, in Ogden, the post office has been closed, so those folks have to go 8 miles because they found some problems in the HVAC, some mold issues and things like that. So they did shut down the Ogden post office inside the last 24 hours. Industrial Donuts is coming to mind.
Yep.
We talked with Becca, 501 Commerce Drive. They've got those Easter boxes with some awesome donuts inside if you want to order one, or hit them up on Facebook. These vanilla cake donuts with 8 different icing choices and 16 toppings, 607-1323. Industrial Donuts giving 17 dozen to the folks at Developmental Services Center today.
Every day we spend $250 courtesy of Troy Lands and Jeff Facer and others that have just stepped up. Steve Hillard. We really appreciate all the money given to us so that we might spend $250 a day, and we've done it every day since the middle of March. I think we'll end up somewhere around $8,000 dollars spent on local restaurants, and then we try and get them to people who might be level 2 anxiety, level 2. And so today we're just going to help DSC, Developmental Services Center, doing so many wonderful things for so many families, and they've done it every year. I know Dale Morrissey retired. They've got new leadership there, and they're going to help deliver those donuts.
That's right. Danielle Matthews and Patty Walters and Sarah Perry actually heading inside the next half hour for the pickup and then distribution to the 9 different homes with some of their citizens and those people who are needing help in this COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay, we're going to hang in there together. I'll call Brother Johnny, Mike Ditka, tomorrow, see how Coach is down in Naples. When he gets back to the restaurant, I wouldn't recommend he goes into the restaurant because everybody hugs him and he's 80. Right. So there's a guy. Now, I think, I don't know why you couldn't just open up and say, if you're over 70 or have some health issue, I'm going to keep you shelter in place. And the rest of us are going to keep social distancing, and then we're going to go back. And we're going to get, the restaurants are going to open and everything else. And I saw a number that maybe COVID is more contagious than flu by like 3 times. I can't confirm that. But I know with 70 cases in Champaign County, is anybody excited about that? I think that's amazing. To only have 70 in essentially an international community. I know we shut the U of I really early on. Good move, because I think that obviously helped. But I think there is great encouragement to be had. The markets are reflecting that today. Price of oil's even up today. I know gas prices have been lower than normal, but certainly there's some positives, and we need to hold on to hope and believe it's going to get better, and I know it will. Nice to have a nice sunny day out there, too. All right, we'll meet tomorrow.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you so much. Jeremy Warner program coming up next. He was talking all about Kofi Coburn and Io, and he and Austin will do maybe some more of that and other things. Stand by. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks again, Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J. We'll meet tomorrow on the radio. Have a great Thursday.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands, owner of Lands Inc. Your heating and cooling system works hard for you all year long to keep you and your family comfortable. That's why it's important to have it maintained and serviced regularly. Our techs are ready to help you with all your indoor air quality, humidity, and filtration needs. Visit landsinc.com today for specials on a brand new train system for your home and to see for yourself why it's hard to stop a train. At Lands Inc., our commitment is to you, the customer. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
Game Day Spirit, the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, is now offering great deals online to all of Illini Nation. Introducing their biggest online sale ever. T-shirts starting at just $15, crew necks starting at $20, and hoodies starting at $25. Hundreds of other items are 20% off with free shipping on orders of just $50 or more. You won't want to miss out on these amazing deals. Head to GameDaySpirit.com/sale today. That's GameDaySpirit.com/sale.
1 in 4 batteries in America needs changed. Is that yours? There's only one way to tell. Go to Interstate All Battery Center on Madison and they will get you tested, no appointment needed. If your battery is over 4 years old, you're in danger. Don't be left on the side of the road on your way to work or that special event. Interstate Battery is your protector from bad power. There are 3 ways to get in contact with them. Go to Interstate All Battery Center on Madison, head to their website at interstatebatteries.com, or give them a call at 217-355-4855.
Get the roof your home deserves. Roof Doctors. They have honest, reasonable rates. They give you competitive prices up front. No gimmicks or contractor pricing games. You can rely on Roof Doctors. No deposit required. No subcontractors. Over 30 years in business in the industry. Check out Roof Doctors at roofdoctorsco.com or call Tammy or Randy at 328-7529. Roof Doctors, 328-7529.
Rescue workers face death every day, and far too often their families lose them while they're helping you on the road. When you see emergency lights flashing, you must slow down and move over to the far lane. That includes red, blue, and orange lights. If you hit someone on the road, you'll be charged with a felony. That means jail time. Help us keep our families safe when we're out helping yours. When the lights are flashing, use caution passing. Let's all go home safe tonight.
Brought to you by Tapman's Towing.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It's a beautiful day. You're walking barefoot. You see the bright sunlight, you hear the birds chirping, you feel the wind hit your skin. You take one step. It can't be. Your face grimaces in pain. You and your bare feet step on the largest bull thistle you have ever seen. Why has a single step just messed up your entire day? Don't allow a beautiful day to turn tragic. Give Spring Green a chance to earn your business. Click on spring-green.com or call 359-2111. Spring Green will allow you to enjoy your lawn again.
A reminder that Honda BMW of Champaign is still open by appointment. They're available for vehicle service and are helping keep you safe with complete disinfection offered for the inside of your vehicle. If you don't want to leave your home and head into Honda BMW, no worries. They're available online. That's right, you can buy a car completely online and they'll deliver it to you. Find the vehicle that fits your needs without ever leaving your couch. Honda BMW of Champaign, here to serve you during this tough time. Located at the corner of Neal and Burwash or online, drivechampaign.com.
Thank you. Sergeant Seth Herrick, Champaign County Sheriff's Department. Wife and kids, how do they handle Dad's job?
I would say that my wife's a little bit of a saint because working in law enforcement, the hours you work they're hectic hours. Right now we work on patrol division, we work 12-hour shifts, so it's a 2-week rotation. Prior to working in patrol, I worked on the Street Crimes Task Force, so I mean the hours kind of fluctuated so much day in and day out, so she had to really weather the storm per se, because there was times where she would be like, hey, I'm making dinner, what time you gotta be home? And I would give the answer of, I don't know. So I mean that's kind of a tough situation to handle for her. So
and your kids know what Dad does?
Yep. So my oldest is 5 years old. He loves the fact that I'm a police officer. The youngest, Madden, he's only 2, so I mean he's not quite aware of that yet, but the oldest, you know, he's well aware of it, so he enjoys it. He's a big Illinois fan as well. So
Stevie J Broadcasting, proud to salute our law enforcement official of the month.
What's Kasasa Tunes? It's free checking that funds your fun. Now available at Prospect Bank. Earn refunds on your iTunes, Amazon.com, and Google Play purchases, all for doing the simple things that you do anyway. Free Kasasa checking even refunds your ATM fees nationwide. Get paid. Bank local. Ask for Kasasa at Prospect Bank or go to Bank Prospect.